You searched how to get an Airtable API key. Airtable deprecated the old API key system in January 2024, so what you're actually going to create now is a personal access token. I'll show you where Airtable puts that and how to avoid the 401 that comes from copying the wrong part. Open your browser and go to airtable.com. Sign in with the Airtable account that owns the base you need to connect. Once your dashboard loads, do not go into the account menu looking for an API key. That old Developer Hub API key page is gone, and any tutorial that sends you there is outdated. Legacy API keys stopped working February 1st, 2024. Instead, click the address bar and type airtable.com/create/tokens. That drops you on the Personal Access Tokens page. You'll see a Create Token button at the top right. Click it. Airtable opens the token configuration screen, and there are three sections: Name, Scopes, and Access. The name field is first. Type something that tells you exactly what this token is for. I'm naming mine Zapier Read Only because it's only going to pull records from one base. If you name it something vague like Test Token, you'll be back here in a month trying to figure out which one is safe to delete. Now go to Scopes and click Add a Scope. Airtable drops down a long list of API permissions. For this one, I'm selecting data.recordsRead. That gives an integration permission to read record data, but not to create, delete, or modify anything. Do not just check every scope. If the connected app only reads data, giving it write access means one wrong automation step can overwrite records. Next is the Access section. Click Add a Base and pick the specific Airtable base this token should touch. I'm choosing Project Tracker. A personal access token can be locked to a single base, which is a real advantage over the old API keys. If the token leaks, it can't reach the rest of your workspace. If your base doesn't appear in the list, check that your Airtable user is actually a collaborator on that base. Now review the name, the scope, and the base access. Once those look right, click Create Token. Airtable shows the new personal access token at the top of the screen, and this is the only time it will ever show you the full secret. You'll see a token ID which stays visible in your list later, and then the full token value underneath it. Click Copy and make sure you're copying the entire value, not just the ID. The short ID is the thing that causes the 401 error. Open your password manager or a private notes file and create a new entry called Airtable Zapier Token. Paste the full token, treat it exactly like a password. Never put it in a screenshot, a public GitHub repo, or code that others can read. Now switch to the app you're connecting. In Zapier, when you add Airtable, choose Personal Access Token as the authentication method and paste the full token into that field. Some integrations still label the field API key because they haven't updated their text. The token goes in the same place. Click Test Connection or Save, and you should get a green success. If it fails with a 401, go back to Airtable, create a new token, and this time copy the entire value from the very top of the token screen. A 401 almost always means you copied just the short token ID. If you can connect but can't see records, open the token settings and check the Access section to make sure the correct base is selected. And if you can connect but can't create or modify records, go back to Scopes and add data.recordsWrite. Only add that extra permission if the integration genuinely needs to write, nothing more. Back on the Personal Access Tokens page, you can see your token in the list. If you're connecting a whole team, don't share one personal token. Have each person click Create Token and make their own, tied to their own account and the bases they actually use. That way you can revoke one person's access without breaking everyone else's automations. If this got your connection working, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And leave a comment saying this was helpful. Comments are what push these videos to other people searching for the same thing.